Good evening, you're now with me, Handy Gui for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. The new RORO yacht project at SENARI terminal is expected to be completed by the fourth quarter of 2024. The government is studying the implementation of a premium salary structure for TVET graduates, with the starting salary set at 4,000 ringgit and above. The capital of Vietnam, Hanoi, was ranked the world's most polluted city. The capital of Vietnam, Hanoi, was ranked the world's most polluted city as thick smog engulfed and reduced the visibility of high-rise buildings. Air readings showed unhealthy levels of particulate matters PM 2.5, which indicates the presence of cancer-causing microparticles that can enter the bloodstream through the lungs. The World Health Organization, WHO, has classified the haze as very unhealthy, as readings hit 24 times more than its unhealthy air guidelines. Its 9 million residents are concerned about their health and have opted to cover themselves before heading outdoors.
Mấy ngày nay ra đường thì em thấy cũng không khí bắt đầu ô nhiễm dần lên ý. Tức là ra đường thì mình bắt đầu thấy nhiều cái khói bụi rồi là nhiều sương đi. Bình thường em đi thì cũng thấy những cái tòa nhà bắt đầu bị sương lấp với cả bị bụi rồi, nên là bình thường là ra đường em cũng phải đeo khẩu trang ấy, không đeo khẩu trang là mình sẽ bị hít rất là nhiều bụi và nó sẽ ảnh hưởng rất nhiều đến cái sức khỏe của mình. Nên là khi
nếu mà lo ngại cho sức khỏe mình thì cái này thì chắc chắn là vẫn phải lo ngại rồi. Nhưng mà anh bảo bây giờ đi làm thì cũng phải chấp nhận về cái môi trường ô nhiễm đấy chứ, bây giờ có thể là không ra đường thì không bị đâu. Ở trong nhà mình có thể là bị ảnh hưởng đến sức khỏe mà. Còn về cái vấn đề này thì ảnh hưởng đến sức khỏe thì bây giờ em chưa cảm thấy, nhưng mà chắc là cũng nhiều người sẽ cảm thấy ho hoặc khó thở trong cái môi trường như thế này.
In recent years, Hanoi has frequently been listed among the world's most polluted cities, due in part to widespread construction and emissions from the huge number of motorbikes and cars that crisscross the capital every day. Carbon emissions from coal plants to the north and agricultural burning exacerbate the problem. Weather forecasters have issued regular warnings of thick haze, especially in northeastern mountainous areas of Vietnam. The latest World Bank report on air pollution says 40% of people in Hanoi are exposed to concentrations nearly 5 times greater than WHO's guidelines. The WHO says that several serious health conditions are linked to air pollution exposure, including strokes, heart disease, and lung cancer.
The government is studying the implementation of a premium salary structure for technical and vocational education and training TVET graduates with a starting salary set at 4,000 ringgit and above. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said this initiative seeks to recognise the skills and contributions of TVET graduates in the workforce. However, the proposal is currently undergoing scrutiny through the National TVET policy, which will be launched on June the 2nd.
Kita juga mewujudkan hanya sebuah saja pusat pengiktirafan kepada TVET, ya, supaya tidak timbul kekeliruan dan kecacamarabaan dari segi pengiktirafan. Dan ketiganya kita juga melihat dari segi gaji. Gaji terdapat saranan agar gaji premium itu bukan berdasarkan pada minimum wage ataupun gaji minimum, tetapi satu tahap yang lebih tinggi yang dicadangkan ialah 4,000 ke atas. Untuk itu, secara tidak langsung ini akan menggalakkan pelajar-pelajar masuk ke institusi TVET ini.
He made these remarks during the minister's question time in the Dewan Rakyat on Tuesday in response to a supplementary question posed by Kapar MP Dr. Halimah Ali. Ahmad Zahid added that TVET programs would also start earlier, specifically after Form 3, with vocational and technical colleges acting as feeders to TVET institutions. Additionally, Zahid Hamidi said that a number of collaborations between public and private educational institutions from various countries are underway to elevate TVET education. These collaborations involve institutions such as University Technical Malaysia Melaka, University Malaysia Perlis, University Malaysia Pahang Al Sultan Abdullah, and University Tun Hussein On Malaysia, including new partnerships with Turkey, China, Korea, and Japan.
The new roll-on, roll-off RORO yard project at SENARI terminal is expected to be completed by the fourth quarter of 2024. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Ugahambas said the project, which is currently at 49.19% completion, will be able to accommodate 2,500 vehicles once completed.
Untuk RORO services maknanya kapal yang membawa kereta dari luar, and then landing here, and they need a good parking area. So now it's under construction because the old parking area yang di Pendin tu tak boleh pakai lagi. So now we're using here. That's why we must make sure that this yard to be completed before the Sejingkat Bridge to be completed.
He said this when met by reporters after the handing over ceremony of 2 new quay cranes from HLG Equipment Sdn Berhad at SENARI Port on Tuesday. Earlier in his speech, Uga said the addition of 2 units of the new electric-powered quay cranes are set to enhance the efficiency and capacity of the port facilities.
I was informed that the container throughput for 2023 was 2,274,000 TEUs, and projected to increase to 310,000 TEU this year with the recovery of our economy. I think that is too low a target. We should try to increase at least 50% of TEUs. So you're going to do a lot of marketing work with this new machine.
According to the Minister for Infrastructure and Port Development, the 70 million ringgit cranes equipped with advanced technology and capabilities will enable the handling of larger vessels and cargo volumes with greater speed and precision. He said such capabilities will enhance the port's competitiveness and attractiveness to shipping lines and logistics providers, as Kuching Port is expected to improve its container handling productivity from 26 to 50 gross moves per hour. Adding further, he said the acquisition of the cranes align with the Sarawak government's broader vision in transforming Sarawak towards a green economy. According to him, investing in modern, energy-efficient machinery and equipment not only will improve its operational efficiency but also reduce carbon footprint and minimize the environmental impact of port operations.
The Sarawak government plans to transform a 300-acre site in Sungai Plan, Kindorong into a housing estate. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng said the development will also comprise of commercial buildings and infrastructures, catering to the needs of both locals and workers in Bintulu.
Saya nak kongsi, pagi tadi saya telah bersetuju dalam board BDA. Kita telah kenal pasti 300 ekar di kawasan Sungai Pelan untuk kita membangunkan perumahan dan juga perumahan yang boleh dibeli oleh penduduk tempatan, dan juga another component of the area for us to house our workers. But we have to have master plan. Kita banyak modal, ada yang dipunyai oleh syarikat kena for them to place their workers, macam di Singapura.
He said this during the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding MOU between Malaysia LNG Sdn Bhd, MLNG, the Sarawak Natural Resources and Environment Board NREB, and the Bintulu Development Authority BDA for the Sungai Plan River Conservation Program in Bintulu on Tuesday. Meanwhile, he mentioned, among other things, the plan aims to ensure better environmental cleanliness.
Today, the foreign workers are housed properly. Then the other one is for the local to purchase dengan infrastructure, dengan tempat mainan dan juga for you to manage the waste in that area. Siknya buang lagi ke sungai macam botol tadi. Jadi kita ada tempat untuk mendapatkan botol apa aja dibuang-buang sedaya kan, you can circulate back to other products. Jadi
at the same time, Abang Johari also welcomed companies interested in collaborating to develop housing for workers in the area.
Sarawak continues to be a preferred investment destination in Malaysia, attracting over 21.4 billion ringgit in investment in 2023. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said the achievement was attributed to its green and digital economy initiatives under Sarawak's post-COVID-19 development strategy PCDS 2030.
Kita mau melangkah ke depan berdasarkan kepada PCDS. Melalui strategi ini, ianya melalui beberapa inisiatif. Ini termasuklah digital economy, hydrogen economy, green economy, such as CCUS, biomass, sustainable fuel, as well as carbon trading.
He said this at an event on Monday. Awang Tengah, who is also the Minister of International Trade and Industry, Industrial Terminal and Entrepreneur Development Sarawak, Mintred, disclosed that his ministry has implemented various programs to support socio-development agendas in the state. At the same time, he urged his ministry staff to continue working strategically with stakeholders and partners to attract more high-quality investments to Sarawak.
Sarawak's move in offering free tertiary education for Sarawakians at all state-owned universities and higher learning institutions from 2026 is the state's entitlement. As the education policy and initiatives fall under the state government, Higher Education Minister Dato' Sri Zambri Abdul Kadir said Sarawak has the say in shaping educational decisions for Sarawak.
Ia adalah langkah-langkah yang dibuat oleh pihak kerajaan sendiri kerana seperti juga dengan negeri-negeri yang lain ada dasar-dasar di mana mereka ingin membantu anak-anak negeri untuk melanjutkan pelajaran di mana-mana tempat sama ada di universiti ataupun di college. Jadi itu adalah hak negeri masing-masing kerana mereka mempunyai kemampuan untuk membantu anak negeri mereka.
Acknowledging the transformative power of education, Dr. Zambri commended Sarawak's government unwavering commitment in assisting underprivileged students in getting higher education. Previously, the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng, announced that the state government will provide free tertiary education to over 25,000 students in all state-owned universities and higher learning institutions in 2026. In other matters, Dr. Zambri said a special committee will be formed soon to conduct a study on the national higher education policy. He added that the establishment will be headed by the ministry's Secretary General, Dato' Sri Dr. Zaini Ujang.
Ya, kita telah pun mengadakan satu program dan dasar yang telah pun kita lihat semula, iaitu dia panggil NRC ataupun National Review Committee yang telah pun dibentuk dan kita telah pun mendapat beberapa hal-hal yang berkaitan dengan recommendation ataupun cadangan-cadangan untuk kita lihat ke dalam pendidikan tinggi kita.
Zamri reiterated that the initiative to review the existing higher education policy, the National Review Committee NRC, was formed to present recommendations for review in higher education.
Tak, yang ada itu yang telah pun diputuskan melalui National Review Committee. National Review Committee ini melibatkan keseluruhan. Tetapi yang untuk setiap 5 tahun kita ada perancangan yang kita laksanakan. Jadi antara lain kita juga akan melihat recommendation yang dikemukakan itu juga akan menjadi sebahagian daripada apa yang kita nak buat untuk 5 tahun akan datang.
He spoke to reporters after visiting ICAT's University College on Tuesday. Also present was Sarawak Deputy Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development II, Datuk Francis Harden Hollis, and Minister of Higher Education Secretary General, Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Zaini Ujang.
Coming up right after the break, 9 demands concerning the MA63 agreement have been fully resolved. And in global news, China sets ambitious 5% GDP growth for 2024. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
TVS.
Hello there and welcome back. To date, 9 demands concerning the Malaysia Agreement 1963 MA63 have been fully resolved. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister in charge of Sarawak and Sabah Affairs, Dr. Sri Fadilah Yusof, said among the matters that had been settled included the amendment of the Inland Revenue Board LHDN Act 1995 and the granting of authority over licensing and deep-sea fishing to the Sabah and Sarawak state governments.
Other demands involve the handover of administrative authority over Pulau Sipadan and Pulau Ligitan to the Sabah state government and amendments to the Federal Constitution Articles 1 subsection 2 and 162 subsection 2. Also fully resolved is the recognition of the Public Works Department JKR and the Drainage and Irrigation Department DID of the states of Sabah and Sarawak as technical departments under Treasury Directive 182 subsection Appendix 182. In addition, one basic demand has been partially or interim resolved, namely the review of the special grant for the states of Sabah and Sarawak under Article 112D. While 3 demands have had policy decisions involving granting authority over the environment, labour in Sabah and Sarawak, and the appointment of a judicial commissioner, amendment to the Federal Constitution. Other 14 demands including oil royalty and cash payments for petroleum, oil minerals and oil fields, the Territorial Sea Act 2012, subsection Act 750, state rights over the continental shelves and an increase in public service appointments in the states of Sabah and Sarawak under Article 112 of the Federal Constitution are still under discussion. According to Fadila, the time frame for resolving each matter or demand concerning MA63 was subjected to the legislative process involved, as the issues discussed involved complex legislation requiring detailed examination. Adding that MA63 demands that have yet to be resolved will be monitored and followed up by the Sabah and Sarawak Affairs Division, Prime Minister's Department, as the Secretariat to the Malaysia Agreement 1963 Action Council and the Technical Committee under the Council.
No special subsidy will be imposed on entrepreneurs who take part in the agro-Madani sales. However, they can opt to sell their goods at a cheaper price. This is achievable due to the sales mechanism that allows direct selling without the involvement of the middleman. And following that, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Dato' Arthur Joseph Kurup, said the ministry is targeting a total sales of 5,000 from the agro-Madani sales.
KPKM tidak menyediakan subsidi khusus kepada peserta. Mekanisme jualan agro-madani adalah jualan terus kepada pengguna tanpa melalui orang tengah atau pihak ketiga, dan justru pengguna dapat menikmati harga yang lebih rendah sekitar 10 hingga 30% dan pada masa yang sama memberi keuntungan kepada petani dan peniaga.
Various types of programs have been implemented to bolster rural entrepreneurship in Sarawak. In response to a question from Lubuk Antu MP Roy Angau Ginkoy, Deputy Minister of Rural and Regional Development KKDW Datuk Rubia Wang said the implementation of programs such as the Rural Entrepreneurship Strengthening Support Program SPKLB, as well as the Village Economic Financing Scheme SPET since 2019 have benefited 2,601 entrepreneurs from all over the world.
Bagi wilayah Sarawak, bilangan usahawan wanita yang telah menerima bantuan SPKLB adalah seramai 83 orang dengan geran 481,000, manakala 58 orang usahawan lelaki dengan nilai geran 345,000. Tan Sri Yang Pertua, perkara yang kedua berkaitan dengan program turun padang. Untuk makluman yang berhormat, Kementerian melalui program-program outreach seperti mini karnival usahawan desa, program pendigitalan usahawan, program PKD mobile dan program-program ekonomi dan keusahawanan yang dilaksanakan oleh agensi-agensi di bawah KKDW berusaha menyebarluaskan maklumat berkaitan dengan geran bantuan dan pembiayaan di peringkat daerah maupun negeri termasuk di wilayah Sabah, wilayah Sarawak dan Sabah. Selain daripada itu, KKDW juga turut menyertai program-program outreach yang dianjurkan oleh kementerian-kementerian lain bagi tujuan yang sama, untuk mempromosikan pembiayaan ataupun bantuan sokongan kepada usahawan-usahawan seperti program Madani Rakyat yang merupakan kesinambungan kepada program setahun kerajaan Madani.
A proposal was motioned in the Parliament suggesting that the government should initiate more programs that will help decrease the cost of living that has impacted rural folks greatly. Batong Member of Parliament Dr. Richard Rapu said opportunities should be presented equally to both rural and city folks, and at the same time he hopes that the allocated 58.1 billion ringgit in budget 2024 will be utilised to benefit the people, especially to ease the cost of living.
Betul mengharapkan sangat program-program utama merentasi pelbagai kementerian, strategi dan pendekatan berbentuk intervensi dan mitigasi perlu dilaksanakan dengan ikhlas dalam menangani pelbagai isu dan kesan berkaitan kos sara hidup. Menjunjung titah Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong yang menekankan bahawa jentera kerajaan mestilah meningkatkan kecekapan dan prinsip kerja berintegriti dan elakkan red tape. Sudah tentu dengan kecekapan proses kerja dan tabir urus yang baik, segala inisiatif bagi menangani isu berkaitan kos sara hidup dapat berjalan dengan lancar dan mencapai tujuan yang diharapkan.
China on Tuesday set an ambitious gross domestic product GDP growth target of around 5% for 2024. While lower than the 5.2% achieved in 2023, China's Premier Li Qiang said achieving this year's targets will not be easy.
今年发展的主要预期目标是，国内生产总值增长5%左右。实现今年预期目标并非易事，需要政策聚焦发力，工作加倍努力，各方面齐心协力。
Speaking at the opening of China's annual National People's Congress (NPC), Li said China also plans to create 1.2 million urban jobs and target unemployment rate of 5.5%, as well as an increase of consumer price index of around 3% this year. He noted that the growth rate was well aligned with the objectives of China's 14th five-year plan and the goal of basically realizing modernization. While ambitious, the 5% goal is a far cry from the double-digit expansion that for years drove the Chinese economy. Investors have called for much greater action from the state to shore up the flagging economy. But Beijing has for years been reluctant to confront the pressures on its economy head-on with a major bailout, fearful of putting too much strain on fragile state coffers, and analysts find no reasons to anticipate a change anytime soon.
Shehbaz Sharif was voted in as Pakistan's Prime Minister for a second time, presiding over a shaky alliance that has shut out followers of jailed opposition leader Imran Khan. Sharif was elected on Sunday by the newly sworn-in lawmakers in Pakistan's National Assembly with 201 votes, more than 3 weeks after national elections marred by widespread allegations of rigging.
Sharif, 72, first served as Prime Minister in 2022 at the head of a strikingly similar alliance which ousted Imran Khan, a former cricket star. Much like during his first tenure, Sharif will face an overlapping trio of crises plaguing the nation of more than 240 million. Pakistan came to the brink of economic default during his first term before a last-minute International Monetary Fund (IMF) deal saved the day. Meanwhile, the Sharif family's Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz or PMLN party allied with their historic rivals, the Pakistan People's Party (PPP), as well as several smaller factions to keep Khan's candidates out. In return, the PPP, a dynastic party ruled by the family of slain ex-premier Benazir Bhutto, has been promised the office of president for Bhutto's widower Asif Ali Zardari. Meanwhile, ex-Prime Minister Khan was jailed in the run-up to the election and barred from running, while Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI) party was targeted by a crackdown of arrest and censorship.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines, anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.